Welcome to the Digging Deep ATV MX podcast with your host, hailing from Kokona, Wisconsin, riding a CST tires, SSI decals, traveling back Yamaha YFC 450R, four-time ATV Motocross National Champion, number 25, Cody Jansen.
What's up, everybody?
We're back.
Welcome to the latest edition of the Digging Deep ATV MX podcast, episode 182 of the Digging Deep ATV MX podcast, presented by our title sponsor, CST Tires, in stock and available for purchase today at shop.csttires.com. I'm your host, Cody Jansen, saying hello to our more than 304,000 monthly Digging Deep listeners in all 151 countries in which you are listening, and this is our Digging Deep Baja Acres 2026 race review show part 1 ? You already know what went down as the ATV Motocross National Championship made its first ever trip to Baja Acres. Friend of the show, Brandon Hoag, captured his first career AMA ATV Pro Class overall victory. Shortly after the episode drops, our regularly scheduled race review show will go live, but tonight is all about Brandon Hoag. He sits down with us to relive a weekend in Michigan that he'll never forget and will cherish for the rest of his life. Enjoy. But first, let's quickly show all of our incredible partners. CST Tires, go to shop.csttires.com today. Yamaha, thanks to Blue Crew. Thanks to SSI Decals, Valvoline, DID Racing Chain, Launderville Steel Enterprises and Concrete Supply, DP Brakes, and Ultimate Poly Products. UPP Racing, our choice when it comes to case savers, chain sliders, intake manifolds, and more. Use discount code DIGGINGDEEP15 at uppracing.com. Support all the great companies that support us, and for any products that fall through the cracks, click that Rocky Mountain ATVMC banner on our website to help us out. No matter what off-road gear or parts you need, Rocky Mountain ATVMC has you covered. But before you buy, simply click that Rocky Mountain ATVMC banner on our website. By using our specific link, we get a percentage of what you buy on the back end, enabling you to help us out while purchasing the parts you need anyway. And did you know you can buy OEM parts from Rocky Mountain ATVMC as well? Yep, shipped conveniently right to your door. So click that Rocky Mountain ATVMC banner at diggingdeepatvmx.com to help us out while satisfying all your gear and parts needs. Shout out to all of our donors, and if you are interested in donating and hearing your name on the show, you can find the Patreon or Buy Me a Coffee donation links on our website. Major thanks to all who have donated, of course. Now, if you can't donate, but you still want to help us out, you can leave us a rating or a review on iTunes and Spotify because that helps us out a bunch too. Now, it's showtime. The 30-second board is up, it's sideways, and the gate is down. Time to dig deep.
Let's go!
All right, guys, there are moments in the history of Digging Deep that we are so proud that we have gotten to be a part of here in the history of this show. One of them earlier this year, we were able to be there on location and watch Brandon Hoag win his first ever moto as a professional, sit down with us afterwards and relive it, which was absolutely amazing. Proud moment for us here at Digging Deep. And now he joins us following his first ever career overall win as a professional, brought to you by Yamaha and their unrivaled race-winning YFZ 450R. We are proud to welcome AMA ATV Pro overall winner from Baja, Mr. Brandon Hoag, to the Digging Deep ATV MX podcast. Brandon, welcome back to the show, pal. Has it sunk in yet? You stood on top of the AMA ATV Pro class podium, something you've dreamt of for so long. How does it feel?
Yeah, this one I was pretty emotional for driving home and stuff, man. It definitely hit a little different. As crazy as it sounds though, too, like on the other aspect, nothing changed. I think when I was a kid, maybe I thought like that's when, the briefcase comes with millions of dollars and I'm sitting in my mansion. And but no, man, it's all the same here. I still feel like almost like an emptiness, but that's just because I think it's more so the process is what I enjoy the most, the training and the grind to try to get there. So if I'm there, that really isn't what I'm, I guess it's not where I get the most out of myself. I feel like I get the most out of myself training hard, and that's what I enjoy a lot, and the whole process to get there. So yeah, it's just kind of a two-way street. It's like, yes, I'm super stoked, and also just kind of back to work as usual.
Well, I think that, it's cliche, but they talk about the journey, right? Like that's what athletes and people that accomplish big, great things, they talk about the journey is the part that is actually the special part, not getting to the summit of whatever hill you're climbing, mountain you're climbing. And that's kind of exactly what you're describing. Nobody tells you how to feel when you accomplish the thing you've been after for forever. That being said, on Saturday, and I told you this already in person, but on Saturday, you roll up to the podium. We watched awesome race day, executed so perfectly. You win. I can't wait to just see you and see like how, your emotions and whatever. I can't wait to hear what you have to say. There's this massive crowd and I'm watching you take your helmet off. You're doing all your, saluting and thanking all your people and all the hugs and all those emotions. And as we're waiting to see you or hear you talk, talk to third first, talk to second, then talk to you. And I watch you just look down at your four-wheeler, and it's almost like I caught you in a moment of like reflecting of what you just did. Because I think you were maybe looking at your trophy or whatever. And I watched you smile. And I said this to you, but like not often do you let yourself smile, pal. Like there is not many moments where you're like, you allow yourself to go there, and in that moment you were so content. At least that's how it looked. And that was really special. That's what hit me in the feels. That's what made me emotional, because typically you're so like, there's more, you're always wanting more. But I like in that very moment, of course, like we already talked about this before we hit record, like your goals change now, you're going to want to do this again and all these things. But in that moment, you were happy, and that made me happy.
Yeah, I know exactly what you were talking about. I think I had a couple of moments where like I just randomly would start tearing up a little bit too, and just man, it's one of them feelings I just wish everybody could feel for once in their life, and it's exactly what, yeah, little me would have dreamed to. Just to be in that position, man. It's almost like just, I don't know. You see it in the movies and stuff and documentaries about kids like just dreaming of stuff and then it happening. And that was seriously one of my moments. Like this is what I wanted to be on top one day, whether it's a moto win overall, didn't really matter. I just wanted to be able to, I don't know. I wanted to be someone that people were like, dang, this kid is just special, And it just was what a cool feeling to have your first overall win. And I haven't won a race since like, it's been like 7 years or something since Pro-Am. So that felt good too, to be like, man, you still do got it. It's been a long journey in the pro class. I'll tell you that. It wasn't as quick. I used to think like, when it's like 2020, I'll win races by then, but it's a lot longer of a process when you got, legends in the sport that definitely don't want to let you, you know what I mean? So it's awesome.
It's more than awesome. I mean, not many people out there. And I said something very similar to you after you won that moto at Sunset, but not many people in this life, in sports, outside of sports, anything in life. They're not very often do people get to achieve their lifelong goals. Like there is a very small percentage of people that get to achieve their lifelong goals. And that's something that you're doing. And we've just seen it building, man. Like this program came together and I called it to Dave. I'm like, it's the dream team, man. It's the dream team that you guys have put together. Something that Jeffrey said, and I think that you probably mentioned this already, but Jeffrey said, like, he came on our show and said, if there's anybody that can do it, if there's anybody that can beat Joel, it's Brandon on these machines. And man, look where we are. Like it makes the hair on my arm stand up. It's pretty damn cool.
Yeah, it's cool. I remember him saying that earlier this year, and it's just cool that, man, it all worked out. I know round one was just such a nightmare too with us, and dude, we had some crazy deep talks after that first race. Like, man, did we miss the mark here? Like, are we just going to fall apart and it's going to be another, just a bad situation? But
yeah,
we just stuck to the plan, stuck to the whole. We knew together that, I mean, yeah, he watched me ride in the winter out of the vines at his place and stuff. And
yeah,
I could tell, I could just tell that he had the belief seriously and genuinely. And then it made me want to push harder, of course, to improve as a rider. And then I felt like I did in the winter. Like I knew coming into the season, I just knew it that I made improvements, And yeah, round one, even we had improvements other than the mechanicals and stuff. Like I still was right with Joel, decent, not right on him, but dude, it was still a race where I'm like, okay, we definitely made progress. Now I actually believe, like, I've always believed in myself to be able to be up front, but I didn't know when. I didn't know if it's going to be when I'm 30 years old or what. I really had no idea on the timeline. So after like the first few rounds of me seeing progress, I knew there's a good shot this year that we could at least, dice it up front. And here we are.
And dice it up you have. And you think back on like that first race for you guys was like a preseason game, it was like a preseason race. This is what it felt like because it wasn't the whole program. Like Dave wasn't there. Like it just wasn't what has become the normal for you. Like that feels so long ago. And to think about the baby steps from them, because like you said, like we had you on, like we talked leading up to Deckers after the team announcements and all those things came out. And you talked about the fact that like that first race was going to be a hurdle. It was going to be tough. Like there was people training and living there. Obviously we know all that. And you went there and you had a really good showing riding wise to start the day. And then obviously we know that, there were some things that didn't go according to plan, but you think about after that, man, and like you've put together such a masterful season after that. I mean, we talked about the fact that like coming into this last race, you had finished runner up in 10 of the 15 motos. And, one of those was a moto win. One of those was a third where you came from way in the back. And then the other one was the opener. So like it has been a pretty masterful season. You think about how good you've put, how good of a season you have put together. It's unlike any other season we've seen from you before. And so much of that has to do with the team that's been put together. Like I said, I feel like it's kind of the dream team. I mean, Jeffrey signs off on you riding these quads and Dave, I feel like has been, Dave Porter has done such a masterful job at the racetrack and seemingly in between races. I've heard so many things about Chris Williams Performance doing so much work for this program and finding power and all that stuff. I just feel like for the first, and I don't mean this to sound a certain type of way, because like I like plenty of the people that you have like ridden for or whatever over the years, but for the first time ever, it just seems like you have so many people pulling the rope in the same direction that it's almost like there was no way that this team was going to fail.
Yeah, I think the team's just really good about, I mean, they know how I operate as well. So yeah, I mean, Chris, for example, Chris Williams, I mean, he calls me, I got to tell the guy, quit calling me, you know what I mean? But he'll call me at like 7 a.m. and it's just doing stuff to try to improve. I mean, it's like the guy's got pure passion and I love passion for sure. And then on race day, like they know how I operate. I like to be pretty much left alone. I don't like to, like when I'm left alone, believe me, I'm happy. I'm not like down in a dump or nothing. I like to try to, like, that's my day to clock in. And if someone is around me that kind of gives off bad energy or gives me some negative vibes, like I'll just distance myself and my team understands, like I want to be happy on race day and I want to be, just locked in, focused, I guess. The team really knows how to handle everything well. And same with all my teams in the past. Like, don't get me wrong. There was not a single problem in the past either. Like that was just, I felt like for me progressing in my career as a rider, I still needed to figure a lot of my stuff out as a rider. So, I'm not one to kind of say it's like all the team thing. I think I just still needed to learn and keep growing, and I still do. So, but yeah, I mean, it's all great, man. It's all positives for sure.
Awesome. Yeah. I mean, the way that my brain works, I look at it like every Like you were taking pieces from people that you were working with and programs you were working with and teams you were working with, and you were learning things along the way. And those are just stepping stones to help you get to where you are now, which is obviously at the peak of your powers right now. So let's hear about the race day, pal, because take me through how the race day was for you. Obviously it's got to be a fun thing to relive. I'm sure you're doing things, you're on the road bike, you're in the gym, you're riding your four-wheeler, you're driving around, whatever the case may be. You're got to be reliving this race day a little bit because it was something you never experienced before. It was a dream race day for you. So Moto 1, you shadowed Joel all the way until the checkered flag. I mean, you really never gave him an inch all the way until the finish. And I was telling people at the gate, if Brandon gets the whole shot in the second moto, he's going to be a problem. And that's exactly how it played out. The rest was history. So tell me about the race day from your perspective.
Yeah. It started off great, and I felt good literally all day. Never felt like a bad vibe or nothing with the bike. And I made changes. Like I ran quite a bit of preload this weekend, and that was something for me that I felt was key, like the way I like the bike to be in the rough and stuff. Yeah, I felt comfortable with my machine all day. So I knew, in the first moto, after the first few laps, like I knew that I could run with Joel the whole time if that's where we had stayed, like speed and pace wise.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I really tried to stay as close as I could. My radiator was packed right away. First lap, bike was hot from that. Still didn't care. I was like, I don't give a dang. I'm just going to show that I at least can be here when especially when I feel good. And yeah, it was a great moto for me. I felt like that was one that, we opened the gap quite a bit, I think, to third, but I didn't really want to just give up just because I'm in second. I wanted to try to at least learn everything I can from the guy. And then also, if he made a mistake, I wanted to be there to capitalize too, which he did as well. I mean, I made the same mistakes, so it was tough, but we were full gas for 25 minutes. I mean, it was like an unreal pace that I wish we had GoPros on just to hear how much throttle we're using sometimes. But yeah, just an unreal pace. And I left it out there, wanted to push to the end, and I think it was pretty good moto. And I pulled off, immediately took my helmet off and said, if I get a whole shot, like I could do that exact same thing, but I think the roles are going to reverse. I don't think he's going to get around me. Mm-hmm. And that's just how I felt,
It's funny to hear, like, from your perspective, that you had the same feeling that so many of us watching did, because I feel like watching that first moto, you could almost watch Joel be like, why am I not losing him? Why am I not able to shake him? And that's what had me feeling like going into Moto 2. If you got the whole shot, man, it's going to be very hard to get around you.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that first moto, he had his spots where he's better, and then I had spots where I could catch him too.
Dude, you before the finish line had it so dialed where, like I said, I swear to you, and I don't know if he would admit it or not, but it looked like we were watching him get flustered, because it's like he was trying to figure out what you were doing, but he couldn't figure it out.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, he was in a tough spot, probably just heard an engine and didn't really know if I was taking a different line or what.
Exactly.
And I wasn't. I took we were taking the exact same lines. I don't know. I was able to, like, I stayed on the throttle in the turn, and the bike just stayed sucked to the ground. And it was one of them sections where for some reason, like, the bike was working, and yeah, I would make up time there. That first moto too, analyzing it, like, he would gap me, I'd exit some of the sections, and he was just so good at, like, getting the power to the ground and the rear tire staying on the ground. Like, he would gap me on exits of turns.
Okay.
And then I'd have to kind of try to just overdo the entry a little bit to get back up to him and stuff. But yeah, I got to watch and see, like, what the difference is. The frustrating thing was I didn't know how to fix the problem with him gapping me on exits. Cause, like, I'd exit a turn and I'm doing everything I can. Full throttle, hitting good shift points, leaning back, just all the above. But he, that bike just is, it's great, and mm-hmm. So I was a little frustrated there, just thinking about what can I do differently there. But I had also known, like, in Moto 2, if I had the start, that really wouldn't matter that much, because I could like go into a turn, and if he was right on me, I could kind of set the exit of the turn. Like, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I could make it to where he can't just like, that's where he's going to be able to pass me. It would have to be in a turn or something, you know?
You're setting the pace and controlling the race at that point. So, yeah.
Yeah. So
we'll get right back to the show. But now, a word from our sponsors. And thank you for listening to these ads. Without these great companies, none of this would be possible. Show your support for the people who support us. The official tire choice of Digging Deep, CST tires are the choice of ATV racing's elite on the track, in the woods, and every other terrain. CST tires swept the ATV racing world in 2022 as Joel Hetrick, Bryson Neal, and Bo Barron rode their Pulse MXR and Pulse HT tires to an ATV Pro Motocross title, GNCC XC1 Pro title, and 10th ATV Pro Works Racing title, respectively. Led by champion Joel Hetrick and podium contenders Bryce Ford, Jeffrey Rastrelli, and Nick Janusa, CST's Pulse MXR tire is the most trusted tire in ATV motocross today. Available in soft and standard compounds, the Pulse MXR offers the highest level of traction, most predictable cornering, and superior wear characteristics when compared to the competition. And did I mention they have a contingency program as well? Visit shop.csttires.com to join the CST takeover today, or prepare to be beat by someone who did. The best of the best choose CST. Do you? You know we're Team Blue Crew here at the Digging Deep ATV MX podcast, as the Yamaha YFZ 450R is the official ATV of Digging Deep. In a move started by 8-time ATV MX Pro Class National Champion Chad Wienen, who with his next championship will become the winningest champion in ATV motocross history, we are living in ATV racing's YFZ 450R era. Alongside Wienen, 7-time GNCC XC1 Pro ATV National Champion Walker Fowler welcomed a pair of new champions to the Yamaha Champions Club, as the podium-proven Yamaha YFZ 450R proved to be the winning choice for Joel Hetrick and Bryson Neal. This unprecedented success for the YFZ 450R, its unrivaled quality and performance, and the clear fact that Yamaha is the leading OEM supporter of ATV racing has resulted in a complete Yamaha takeover within the sport quad market. Evident by the continuation of Yamaha's Blue Crew Racer Support Program, Yamaha riders will once again cash in on payout and prize opportunities in 2023, including a chance to win a brand new YFZ 450R. For more info, head over to YamahaBlueCrew.com. Follow Yamaha Outdoors, as well as the new Blue Crew official channel on social media, and check out Yamaha's full proven off-road lineup at YamahaOutdoors.com today. SSI Decals, your way. SSI Decals sets the standard with the best looking decals, graphics kits, and vinyl wraps in the industry. Established in 1947, SSI took shape as an offshoot of their parent company by doing a little work for local pro Chad Wienen. Nearly 2 decades later, and fueled by a passion for ATVs, the company has flourished into one of ATV Moto's most recognized brands. From ATV Motocross, SSI has expanded into graphics and design work for top racers in GNCC, Works Racing, Pro Motocross and Supercross, Off-Road, and more, headlined by 8-time world champion Top Fuel drag racer Clay Milliken. Whether your project is big or small, SSI Decals will make your identity stick. Get started today at SSIDecals.com and use code DIGGINGDEEP10 for 10% off at checkout. Things are about to get sick. The Digging Deep ATV MX podcast is brought to you in part by DID and their wide range of championship-winning chains. From the street to the track and everywhere in between, DID chains are designed to give you the optimal riding experience with great performance and increased chain life. Consistent to the core, pick up your box of reliability today. DID, what drives you? Time out for 1 sec. Can we talk about your hole shots too? Like both hole shots, you had this so dialed where you're like, popping the front end and then sitting into the, like right as soon as you get over the gate, you sat into it. And that thing just freaking like you were just talking about putting power to the ground on, especially that second moto. Obviously you get the whole shot, but it was so dialed. It was so perfect. I felt like I knew, and I mean, this is hard to say because Joel is so good at starts, but I felt like I watched you go 1 foot or 2 feet over the gate that second moto. And I knew you had the whole shot because it was executed so perfectly.
Yeah, dude, they were on point. I felt just dialed with the technique of it and everything, and the way the gates were. I mean, so Zach Decker and I, before this race, we did a bunch of starts like side by side, and we really like dug into what makes the best start and what doesn't. And we both kind of concluded on something there. And like,
Okay.
I just stuck to that. Like in my mind, I'm like, I need to be able to do this. And then I need to hit the shift point right here. And I just stayed to that process. Like, and it worked for Baja because of the way the gates were. It was, it was pretty similar.
Dugout, basically, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Like the way you got to get over the gate and then when to hit that third gear shift.
Okay.
So yeah, I felt confident with the starts. In Moto 1, I was way inside.
You were. Yep.
But I just knew right there that's kind of like a safety thing, you know. Yep. I know if I get a decent jump, I'm at least going to be top 3. So
that's why I didn't know why people weren't fighting for those very inside gates, because I felt like it was a cheat code. Like you said, it doesn't mean you're automatically going to get the start, but I felt like where you were, I mean, if anybody that was down there, you were going to come out top 3, you know.
Yeah, I saw you on the sight lap when I did the sight lap, and I came back through. I saw you standing there by the gate. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I thought the same way. I mean, the inside gate was like a safety, you know. Mm-hmm. If you kind of slept on the gate, you could probably still be fine and tuck around.
Be in good position. So second moto, you get that killer jump out of there. You had to be grinning going around the first corner, like, okay, this is the opportunity I was looking for.
Yeah, that's the only thing I really remember feeling. Like I got the launch out of the gate. One thing, I was so focused on that second moto start, dude, that you could have said something to me. I would have been like, huh? Like what? Because I just was so, and I swear I moved before that gate even flinched. It was nuts. Like I just felt like, I knew right away once I got that launch and I hit the turn, I didn't let anybody get inside. And then right when we're hitting that shift on the straightaway, I literally had a feeling like, now this is it. Like this is where this is where we clock in for real, you know? Mm-hmm. And so it started off not great. I didn't feel that great the first like 2 laps. Then I just tried to focus on a flow. And then, about midway through, I stopped hearing Joel's engine behind me. So in my mind, this is no joke. This is the truth of this moto. In my mind, I'm thinking, all right, Joel got the title already. Like maybe maybe his bike's hot. He's just backing off. I've already won a moto. Like, he's just going to ride it in, take the podium and celebrate, and we're all good. So I start to back down a little bit. Like you can go look at the lap times and look at them. I mean, I started to cruise the pace a little bit just because that's what I genuinely thought. Mm-hmm. I don't know if I only had like a few seconds, 4 seconds, whatever. It was enough time to where I couldn't hear his engine anymore.
Yeah, like 3.
Well, the reality is, I look at I look at the footage and he almost had a huge gnarly wreck going up the hill.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't know that. So sure as heck, we do a couple more laps. I don't know, 2 or 3 more laps. And then I hear this rev limiter again, and I knew who it was.
Of course.
And I'm like, okay. So I'm like, he's going to probably sprint, maybe he was playing a game with me where he let me think I had it, and then he's going to sprint and go. So then now I have to, counter with another sprint too. Mm-hmm. And that's just where it was at that point. Like I knew from once I heard his motor, like I got to go. This is going to be the hardest, whatever, 5 or I don't know how many laps we had, but and it worked out. Like I kept a decent, it was just like Moto 1 where me and him would have our spots.
Yep.
I blew a rut up at the top of the hill and I wasn't able to jump the step down. Okay. And that's when he like really, he got right up to me at that point. Mm-hmm. And from there on, I knew he was either going to, try some passing or, unless I was just balling out with the throttle. Mm-hmm. So that next lap though, was when he had his mechanical. So, I know those last couple laps were going to be just a barn burner,
Yep.
The fans would have been able to have something there, cause he's not gonna, I saw the there's a talk about if he's going to race me different and stuff. And look, he's not gonna, like, it's a racer mentality that you have, and he has that mentality. But that also doesn't mean he's gonna like take us both out. I think he's learned through his career that he can't, there's some passes you can force and some you can't. And he was going to try them. We talked after the race, like there was a couple lines that I wasn't doing that he could have tried something. And it was a tough track to pass. So you really had to be calculated on what you were going to do. But let me tell you this, I would never expect him to not try it. I would expect him to try the whole kitchen sink at me to get around me. And I was ready for it. Like that's what I trained for. So I was ready to fight to the end. Believe me, I did not want to give up a whole entire leading moto. And my first overall, I felt like in my head, like I would have rather freaking, in my mind, I'm thinking I would have rather died at that point than to let me get past, So would have been a great race. Believe me, I did not want that race to end like that.
No, obviously not.
When I came around, yeah, like I one, it's bad because it's like, yeah, I got my overall and that happened. But two, I don't know. I've been in that same spot. I've been in the spot where you're sitting on the side of the track and it sucks with points and pay and just the whole 9 yards. It's a bummer.
Yep.
So yeah, it was just a mixed bag of emotions there. Yeah. Once I came through, the rest was just riding in, but I was looking forward to the fight,
Of course you were. I mean, so that's where my mind went. Like from my perspective, it was so fun to hear you just outline that, because from my perspective, I'm like, okay, same, like I knew Joel made a mistake. I didn't know how gnarly it was until I saw it later, but I knew he made a mistake. Then, you got this nice little gap and you're holding that gap. And like you said, you might have gotten a little comfortable with your lead or whatever. Joel makes up a little time. And now I'm like, man, I'm like sweating it for you. Cause now I'm like, man, Brandon's been leading. Like, I don't want this story to be the one that we have to cover. He gives up the lead at the very end. And that, Joel had sensed, I don't want to say blood in the water, but he was making a late push in hopes. Obviously that was his goal. He's making this late push in hopes that he can force a mistake out of you or something. And I felt like you had weathered the storm by the time he had that mechanical. He had made his way to your bumper, but then you had weathered the storm. He had gotten no closer. You guys, like you just said, were doing exactly what you had done in the first moto, just roles had been reversed. So we've heard about the moto, hearing him, kind of come and go back there. So what were your emotions then? Because there would have been a lap there before you saw him on the side of the track or whatever. You obviously went from hearing him nonstop to not hearing him anymore. I'm assuming after what you went through earlier in the moto, maybe you thought it was too good to be true. Like maybe he was still phantom there. He was just 2 seconds back instead of, being a half a second back. But when you realized that he wasn't there anymore, what was that like? Because you went from basically riding as hard as you possibly could to try to get this first win of your career to all of a sudden you have a 30-second lead. And you had basically a lap or 2 laps to process this thing before finally crossing the checkered flag. And in my mind, I'm like, man, I wonder what Brandon's thinking right now, because it wasn't like cross the finish line and, oh my God, you had a little time to process it before you got there.
Yeah. When I stopped hearing his engine, him behind me, it's funny. I just thought I gapped him. I really did. Okay. I thought like, maybe he made another bobble or whatever. And I only thought I had like a 3-second lead that whole time. I'm still digging. I'm thinking he's just like barely back there.
So I was telling people too, that there was not a good place on this racetrack to see like one section behind you. It was so fast and it must've been spread out enough that like you didn't get a good look at somebody 5 seconds back or whatever. So go ahead. But that does fit kind of my belief of this racetrack.
Yeah. And I'm never one to look back. I don't think you'll ever catch me looking back. I'll only go by like, by noise, or if I'm exiting a turn and the guy's, coming into the turn or something, I could do a little peek. But as far as a look back, I have never, ever, I think my parents used to yell at us for looking back. So we just stopped,
Okay. Gotcha.
So yeah, I didn't know what was going on, but obviously when I came around, that's when I was like, it was a weird feeling. Cause I was in the fight or flight, like just like all out, just couldn't even have thoughts, mode. To then when I saw his bike, then it was like obviously just like a dang. And well, now I can just pray my bike doesn't have an issue. Yeah, the whole entire last 2 laps, that's all I'm thinking about is like, great. Well, now what if I had a problem? Like I've just been in that spot, before.
I know. So, yeah, I know. Yep.
Yeah. I'm like lugging the bike around, baby in it, trying to be gentle. But
that's awesome.
Yeah, it was just a roller coaster of emotions for sure. But one thing I will say is I did learn, and I learned this. It's good I learned it. I mean, is I'm never going to trust a gap. If I got a gap, I'm going to keep sprinting because I'm never going to think like that again. That maybe it's it's like a cat and mouse thing. I'd rather not find that out. I'd rather just go as hard as I can.
Keep going.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Well, while you're racing that guy, I can assume that, he's going to empty the tank just like you do, I guess, and I did see somebody out there saying that, he was racing you differently. I did not read. I don't even think I read the whole post or whatever, but I saw some rumblings of that. And I'm thinking to myself, if anybody knows Joel, there is no chance that he wants to let anybody have a small piece of what is his. He wants to, he's said it before. He wants to get every hole shot. He wants to lead every lap. He wants to give no opportunity for anybody else to have a piece of what he has. So it is not my belief that he is ever going to race you any differently just because you're you and other guys are other guys. He wants to lead every lap. He wants to win every race. He wants to win every championship. He absolutely did not want you to have what you had on Saturday. And yeah, so that whole racing you differently thing. Yeah. I do not subscribe to that theory.
Yeah. I mean, I think he's just, he's really, he's not going to, it's like you watch what he did to Mason at Pleasure Valley. Mm-hmm. So he was left to Mason and he just knew if he ran into Mason there, like he even I think he might have even had a tire on him, but he knew he's probably going to wreck with him or like it's not going to be a good outcome.
Yep.
If Joel has a tire on me, he's going to force the issue 100%. But if he's like behind me, it's not going to do anything except get us stuck or, there's just nothing. The track has to also present something there. So if you race, you understand that,
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, it's just one of them things where it's like he's going to race everybody extremely hard and he wants to win. And that's what we all want to do. At the same time, he's not going to take himself out, his whole career out right there just from something like that. I mean, The guy's got a bigger goal, which he got the championship, but yeah, I mean, you just got to be a racer and in that scenario to feel and whatever. And yeah, just one of them things.
And he's, if not the greatest of all time, one of the Mount Rushmore greatest of all time guys. And you don't become the greatest of all time or one of the greatest of all time if you're not selfish about wanting to win everything always. So, that's just the reality of the situation. So in the process, he's making you a better racer. You're soaking up things from the baddest dude probably to ever ride a four-wheeler. And yeah, to on this day to have trumped him, that's a pretty special thing. I hope that you don't take that lightly because that's a big deal, man.
It feels really good. It's tough. There's some tough parts to it too. It's not always great, but I kind of just block those out. We kind of spoke about that stuff like beforehand. I think, this is where I want to be and where I want to be for the future. And I just am going to try to keep progressing more and more to where I'm there more races. I've only been up close 2 races. So, my goals right now are just to learn that and be there more and more and more. And then hopefully make the racing fun for the people watching and the sport. Like, I think the sport should just really understand, man, I think if they had like a good battle instead of just a dominant thing, it's like it's better for the sport, It
is better for the sport. From my perspective, Brandon, the races that you've been able to challenge Joel, and that's really the only challenge we've seen this year. We saw Mason lead some laps and stuff. And he deserves a lot of credit for that as well. But the funnest races this year, I would hope for even the biggest diehard Joel Hetrick fans have been the ones where you were challenging him. Like, that's what we want to see, and I've said, I've been on all of these shows. Like I said, I just got done saying how selfish Joel is and he wants to win every time and all the stuff. But I also believe that any good legendary competitor wants a challenge and wants to step up to the plate when they're given this challenge. Those are the races that stand out this year, obviously, are the ones that, that have been competitive. That's good for the sport.
Yeah. I agree 100%. I think the top should want the competition and And, I'll always maintain a level of respect there. To me, we got a great group right now of pro riders and all respectful riders. And yeah, hopefully we can have a lot of good battling up there. Man, how cool would it be to have 3-4 guys up there? Just, you never know who could win. Like that would be awesome,
We saw Max run with, it was kind of a pack of 3 at one time in that second moto where he got a little bit better start. And I'm like, okay, Max, he's obviously gaining momentum too.
Yeah. Yeah. Max is riding insanely good. He made strides undoubtedly. There's a lot of times where I'm like, dang, dude, I know how fast I'm going and he's still like, he's right there. Then this kid definitely has it,
Yeah.
A lot of them do. I mean, Mason's riding super good, man.
Yeah.
I can just tell Mason has the raw speed and he could be a guy in the next couple of years that really has a good, a good run. And same, even something crazy, like before this race, I was training with Zach Decker, and I've always said, dude, like Zach Decker's some kid that when we were like 15, dude, I remember watching him and I'm like, this kid's insane. Well, anyway, we were just down there and like on the, we're doing motos and the kid's faster, if not, every now and then he's pulling away from me. Otherwise we're like matching speed and I'm pushing as hard as I can. Like, I don't care if it's practice, dude, I'm digging as hard as I can.
Yeah.
And, when that shows up on the racing, that's going to be another guy that's right in the mix. And it's just a matter of time for him. He's gotten hurt. He hasn't had the time that some of us have had. So I look forward to all that stuff. Every one of these guys, yeah, man, I think the sport could be in a good spot there if we have some good racing, and I think the sport can really, I wouldn't say turn around at this point, but like the sport has a good future. I feel like, you know what I mean? Just
of course.
The pro class and.
Yeah, I'm glass half full guy, like you are. I've been on these shows for years talking about how strong I think the pro class is. If there's weekends like this one that only have 10 riders, those 10 riders are effing ripping. I've said so many times, there's nobody out there to showcase how otherworldly fast you guys are going. Like there's no average Joes out there. And there's been a lot of pro classes where there was average Joes out there who still, like, I'm not dogging on anybody. Like maybe I was one of those guys, but there was average Joes out there to showcase how ridiculous the front guys are. And I feel like right now that the whole class is really, really good. There isn't any average Joe guys out there. So, the class is gnarly. There's a lot of classes out there that are gnarly. There's a lot of fast kids coming up. Freaking Baja was awesome. I mean, obviously you said it on the podium. It's a place that you love now, but that was awesome. I felt like it was good to be back in Michigan. It was good to be on that style racetrack. I feel like we weren't going to a track that nobody had ever heard of before. We were going to ATV Motocross was going to a track that everybody has heard of, and they gave us an awesome experience, I thought. So yeah, I think that ATV Motocross is in a perfectly good place, and hopefully it continues to hopefully round a corner, but it's not like the bottom is all of a sudden going to fall out. It's not going to get any, I don't want to say it this way, but it's not going to get any worse than it is right now. The sport is hopefully going to be on an upswing, and the talent is not going anywhere. There's a lot of talent still in the sport right now.
For over 150 years, Valvoline has been dedicated to constant improvement and innovation across all disciplines of racing. As a proud member of Team Valvoline for nearly a decade, I have witnessed their unwavering commitment to pushing the boundaries of performance. Valvoline has sponsored some of the greatest names in motorsports, solidifying their position as a powerhouse within the industry. Being a part of this historically great team has been an incredible privilege. When it comes to my equipment, whether it's my daily commuting vehicles, race quads, or anything in between, I trust nothing but Valvoline. Their range of products and lubricants consistently deliver increased horsepower, durability, and engine life. I'm excited to announce Valvoline's breakthrough in performance, Valvoline Ultimate Power Sports. With up to 8 times stronger rust protection and 50% better wear protection, this cutting-edge formula ensures your ATV's engine runs smoother and longer for the ultimate ride. Tackle rugged terrains with confidence, knowing your ATV's engine is equipped with the best protection available. Ready to experience the next level of performance? Head over to shop.valvolineglobal.com and use code DIGGINGDEEP10 at checkout to unlock an exclusive 10% off on your purchase. Don't miss out on this limited time offer to enhance your ATV's performance with Valvoline's ultimate power sports engine oil.
Hey everyone, this is Larry Mills, president of DP Brakes North America and proud partner of the Digging Deep ATV MX podcast. We at DP Brakes are a longtime supporter of ATV racing and the world leader in sintered brake technology, dominating the ATV world for decades by supporting the best four-wheeled racers on the planet. This year's lineup includes Jeff Rastrelli, Mark Baldwin and Baldwin Motorsports, Ford Brothers Racing, Nick Janusa, and many more, including Mr. Digging Deep himself, Cody Jansen, plus all the top 17 GNCC pros such as 7-time champion Walker Fowler, Bryson Neal, Hunter Hart, Cole Richardson, Jared McClure, Anna McGill, and previous champion Chris Borich. These top riders continue to appreciate the high performance and impressive durability that their DP brakes have to offer, products that ultimately help place them on top of the podium week after week. DP brakes are available through www.dp-brakes.com, or you can purchase them through your local Parts Unlimited stocking dealer, or you can even message us, myself, Larry Mills, or DP Brakes on Instagram or Facebook. And if you have any questions about product or sponsorship support, please ask us. We are waiting for you. Join the best ATV riders in the world equipped with DP brakes, and have a great year, everyone.
Headlined by their 4130 Chromoly, Launderville Steel and Concrete Supply is a full-service steel supplier of new and surplus steel, aluminum, and stainless steel products. This racing family-owned full metal service center and concrete product supplier comes with over 30 years of experience serving the entire United States from their central Midwest location. As the #1 choice for nationwide shipments and with available next-day delivery in select areas, LSE has you covered near or far. 4130 is not just the chromoly tubing and plate used in the building of chassis for an array of motorsports applications, but it is also the name of the newest addition to the Pro Paddock with riders Jaden JJ Launderville and Max Lindquist, introducing the new 4130 Motorsports team. Launderville Steel offers a large selection of material for any project, including their concrete division that can supply everything you need to complete your next business or personal project. For a quote or more info, visit laundervillesteel.com today or give them a call at 715-675-6193. That's 715-675-6193. With the desire to keep you in the race, Ultimate Poly Products offers the Ultimate Protection collection of case savers, chain sliders, intake manifolds, and more. Founded on quality in 1998, this family-owned and operated business produces products created by racers for racers. These industry-leading products are proudly made and manufactured in the USA, with their case savers being made of the highest quality American-made polyurethane on the market and designed to completely conform to your engine case to help prevent case damage from a thrown chain, because no one wants to be a spectator on race day. Join top pro riders like Bryson Neal, Walker Fowler, John Glotta Jr., Adam McGill, Cole Richardson, and more by using UPP Racing products. Use discount code DIGGINGDEEP15 at uppracing.com to save on your next order. Ultimate Poly Products, made to last longer so you can ride more. Thanks for listening, and remember to support our partners. Now back to the show. So one of the last things I want to touch on, pal, the last few weeks have obviously been a roller coaster, with the Team USA stuff and everything that came with that. So how has that all played a role for you? Has it been easier to lock in and have, being on your four-wheeler be the vice, or has it been the opposite where the four-wheeler, you could have viewed it as, cheated on you in a way, like you were wronged in a way. So take me through that a little bit.
Yeah, the four-wheeler was my my vice for sure. It's always been like when I had stuff going on in life when I was a kid, and the same thing. Yeah. I kept wanting, nothing ever changed there. I did take a pretty good hit just with some people and like that still even today, man, I'm bummed for sure. I moved on, I moved on. I actually, believe it or not, I hate seeing all the comments about, it's like everything now is going to be about that when I know. Heck, if I go win a race, I don't want to see the comments about the team. I'd rather just see the comments about the race.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, Yeah, it just helped me lock in really. And
Good.
dude, nothing changed there. And even moving forward, I think that I'm a grown man, and things will be talked out, and there'll be no bad blood there. I think obviously I got pretty emotional about it just because it's my life, but dude, I'm also able to move on from that stuff, forgive, and just be a man about the situation and completely put it behind, and just look forward.
So, kind of echoing something I said earlier, and I didn't want to, I don't want to dig way into this topic. I didn't want to. My question more came from, was it easier to lock in, because
Right.
I knew that was a vice of yours. I knew it's the vice for you. And your day will come, right? Like, you've already been on the team in a win for Team USA and all of those things. Your day will come again. And it's my belief that you'll become a staple of Team USA. It's my belief that this was a anomaly and something that maybe stemmed from some lack of communication situation. I just think it's an outlier. I think that it's my belief that if there was a opportunity for people to, this is not my place to say this, but I'm speaking from the heart and what I truly believe. I think that if there was a situation or an opportunity for people to get a do-over, I think things would be very different. That being said, you'll get your day. And where I really wanted to go with this is human to human, man to man, friend to friend. I am so proud of the way you handled all that. I am so proud of the video that you put out there, like right off the rip. That was so raw, but the way that you handled it was so genuine, like, I'm hurt, but I'm going to be okay. Like, I'm hurt and I feel like I've been wronged, but you never got aggressive. You never went at anybody. You just wanted answers. I was so proud because, like, I don't think I would have handled it that well. So then to watch you do it, I was like, damn, that is a man right there. That is a good dude right there. The way you handled it, that is something that I have relived throughout this process. And I know you don't want to see any of those comments, because those comments then are basically negative comments towards other people. They're negative comments for people involved. And that's not what you want,
Yeah.
Just a big giant mess. But I needed to take the opportunity to tell you how proud I was, because you handled that better than I think 99.99999% of people would have handled it.
Well, I appreciate that. Yeah. Like you said, I just went about it raw. I mean, I just put the camera on the tripod and just hit record one take. And I mean, yeah, dude, I feel like it's also, in a way, it's like, I think everybody in all the fans should see how sometimes even it's not all sunshine and rainbows, put it that way, So like, I would rather be raw with everything, when it's not the rainbows, it's that was the raw me. I still try to keep a different perspective. Like, I try to really put myself in other people's spots and try to, just look at it at a different angle. And if I could do it over again, I would do the same thing, and I just would handle it the same way. And like I said, moving forward, I think it would be awesome to be able to move on, and like I'm forgiving for sure. We'll it'll all work out. It'll all work out.
You're a good dude. Like I said, your day will come. You've said to me before, like, always trying to do the right thing, do the next right thing, handle things, with as much respect and all the things as you can. So take me through training with Zach. I mean, that takes a big man. Like, you guys are bonded in a way through this thing. And to do that is pretty fucking cool.
Well, dude, yeah, I mean, first off, like, it's been a minute since I've been with him, and we used to be real close back in the day. And we had chatted at PVR about just doing some training together for, I think kind of kindling something for next year to be able to work together a bit more and stuff. And
okay, sure.
And it's just from the dude, he asked me to go down there, and I left the next morning at 5 a.m. And I love that. Like, that kid's a kid I want to be friends with when I'm done racing. And it was cool to meet up again, and just we're more mature and different, and we got to talk about so much stuff. And then the riding, I feel like, I don't know, maybe I got a bias, but that kid, he's got something special. So like anything I can do to help that kid, I would. I gave him everything that my whole note, everything that I'm doing, man, I try to give to him every single thing. I mean, I told him just the whole 9 yards to try to help his program in any way that I can. Because that's what makes me happy too. I don't know why. I just get super happy about stuff like that. If I can make a difference anywhere, I would love to. And just relationships, man. like I said, I think as I get older now, I just I care more for the relationships that I'm building with people. Cause heck, when we're done, well, we just had some cool talks. I told him, man, when we're done, we'd still like to hang out and drive some sports cars together. I hope to be an entrepreneur one day, and I'll pull up in a Lamborghini, and, just, dude, it's just fun stuff. But, and all that Team USA stuff, dude, I didn't even think about it. It didn't even cross my mind, like with all that stuff.
Yep.
It literally was, it was not, I didn't even think about it. If anything, I just want to stick up for them guys, because they're in the position where, people are thinking it's something to do with them when it's not. He was the guy in the spot. So, but yeah, didn't even think about it, dude. Just wanted to head down there and grind with the brother.
That's awesome. That's a cool thing to hear. And that's been my biggest thing, like throughout this. I shouldn't say my biggest thing, but I have been very stuck on Zach. He doesn't deserve any of that. All the people that it's all of a sudden so negative on Zach, he didn't ask for that. And the people that are like, well, he should have turned it down because, Brandon this, Brandon that, Brandon should have got the spot. Tell me, if somebody comes to you with a once in a lifetime opportunity, potentially something that every single ATV racer in the world would love to do, and would you turn that down if you got that opportunity? If you got asked because maybe somebody else has had a better season, like I feel, to tie a bow on that, I feel terrible for Zach's experience here, and since all of this has come out, Zach's hasn't had the best race days. He's had some get-offs. He's gotten in a pile up. He's had some stuff happening. He had, stuff going on this weekend off the racetrack. Like, there's factors that are not helping the situation. And just for all of it, I feel bad for the kid. I just can't wait for him to be able to turn the page on this chapter, I guess.
Yeah, which sucks though, because I don't feel like he should have to feel that way.
Agreed. That's where I'm coming from.
I know. I'm trying to trying to figure out how I would feel in that scenario, and I think he's doing the right thing. He's just kind of keeping his head down, and dude, the dude's gonna go over there and just whoop up on him, and it's gonna be great. He already went over there, and the proof's in the pudding. What he did over there. Mm-hmm. So if I could just have any words for him with that situation, it's like, dude, keep doing exactly what you're doing. Keep your head down. Don't. All these guys that are saying things, like, I don't even know them. You know what I mean? Like, if you let that influence you too much, you're never going to find a way out of that, And
I feel like some of those people, Brandon, are feeling like they're vouching for you when that's not what you want. That's not what anybody wants.
Exactly, man. I even had to go in there a couple of times and comment. These people think they're sticking up for me, but man, that's not how I am. I'm not. Yeah. I had to correct my own fans a little bit there, but it's one of them things. I don't know. I can't control what everybody says, but
yeah,
I did try to have. Hey, that's another thing, dude. I've been pretty dang open on social media as of late. Like I've been.
You become social media guy, and that has not been you, man.
Dude, it's like everywhere I look, I'm getting a notification, and it's somebody saying something. But honestly, like I said at the beginning, I think I just want to show everybody like the real me, and sometimes whether it's sticking up for something or whatever, dude, I'm just me, and it's never in out of a foul way. It's just who I am, and I try to use socials as a positive thing, but sometimes it's pretty tough.
And the fact that you're using socials is actually an upgrade from previous years.
Yeah, man.
To be real. You deserve a lot of credit, because doing the social media thing, investing your time in doing that, like, that has not been a strength of yours. Like, I'm not breaking any news there. And you have done a really masterful job this year, thanking your sponsors, showcasing the people that deserve it. You've done a really good job. You have done a really good job, and you have taken the time to do it, which I know isn't an easy thing. Sometimes it feels like a chore, but I'm proud of you for that too, because that was part of the program that was maybe missing. And we all knew that you needed to do a better job with the program that you have this year, that there was going to be more on you to physically do that for the people around you. And I have said these exact words to your team. I don't think that there's anybody involved in your program that couldn't be happy with the way it's been, the way that the program looks, the way it's been handled, the shout outs, all of the stuff. There is no way that everybody isn't effing stoked. And that's credit to you and all involved.
Yeah, try to be better, definitely. And that's something I'm still learning. But yeah, I try to make it, if I can get support, I want to make it worth it in some way.
Yep.
So,
yep.
I know you know that, but just trying to be better there, because that's how I'm able to keep doing this. And yeah, a lot of the times I'm like, dang, I just wish I could do a lot more. I think in presentation or in something, I wish I could do more for some of these guys. But yeah, one thing I did not improve is answering the cell phone. I'll tell you that. I've gotten, dude, it's a joke at this point. I mean, I get probably 15 phone calls a day, kid you not, that just go right through the other line.
Yeah.
They're probably sitting there. It's ringing. They're like, dude, Hoag ain't answering. I already know this. Like, just put it to the voicemail.
Hey, I can relate a little bit, especially with my work schedule, where like my time is so valuable when I get to like actually choose what I'm doing, that I've talked about this on my show before. I have 443 unopened texts. I have 230 missed calls.
That's gnarly.
I have 188 voicemails that have not been listened to yet. So like I understand, but the fact that you texted me back and we're down for this, that's all that matters to me.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat. I got hundreds of both too. Dude, what's funny today? I go get on I go to cycle. I'm just biking outside.
Okay.
I get in, I put my AirPods in. I swear to you, I start pedaling. Mm-hmm. My phone does not stop ringing the whole entire bike ride. And I'm like, there's no way. You think I'm the president right now. There's no way someone's calling me, But dude, it's just funny stuff.
Brandon Hoag stock is so up. That's the one thing that there's been a lot of, almost everything about this Team USA thing and all the stuff has not been positive. But the one positive is that there's no doubt, it is very clear how many people you have in your corner. And that is really, really cool. There is a whole sport here of people in your corner, and they've made it very apparent, which is pretty rad.
Super rad. It's I'm so grateful. That's like the number one thing, man. If I had to quit tomorrow, super happy with just the way that everything's been. And yeah, there's a lot of supporters out there, and I see every one of them, man. I'm a guy. I remember people, and yeah, dude, couldn't have wrote it up any better on that department, man. It's just awesome.
Yeah. All right, pal, last question. What's next? Where do you go from here? Like I've said a few times now, like I know how your brain works, and you already said like kind of at the top of this mountaintop, and it's like, okay, now what? And I don't know if I thought that this is how this was going to feel. So the goal is obviously you've got this taste of it. You're going to want to do it every time out now. What is next? Because I feel like you're just getting started. I mean, throughout all this, throughout the last, whatever you call the last 4 to 6, 8 weeks, whatever that time period was, I feel like through all the turmoil and all the things, you've just gotten better. You've gotten better. You've gotten stronger. There's more momentum, all of that. So simply put, what is next?
Yeah. What's next is, I got to get a little better on the hard pack this year. For some reason, now I'm switching to the sand guy. So
weird.
Got to go back to Yeah, I got to go back to Nebraska maybe or something there. So yeah, just figuring out, if I get real comfy on a hard pack track, I know I can do the same. And so the next goal is to make some passes. I think for me, I'd like to make a pass, and just prove where I'm at. And yeah, that's really where my head's at. I want to keep my head down, and it sucks we got one more race, but honestly, hopefully got plans next year to obviously keep rolling at this. And I don't know, I'd like to try to have maybe a rider training with me all year next year if I can do that. Kind of put them under my wing. That'd be something cool for me to do. Something I want to do. So yeah, that's kind of where my mind's at, man, is learn hard pack again, make a pass, prove that spot. And that's where my mind's at. Just keep the process up. Just keep doing it, man.
Just keep digging. Well, I knew that you were not going to be happy that there was only one race left. I knew that coming into this conversation, you weren't going to be stoked that we're nearing the end of the season here, but it's one more overall, 2 more motos, 1 more opportunity here to potentially, click off a few of those wants on your to-do list. So, great job. Not many people, like I said, get a chance to live out their lifelong goals and dreams, and that's what you're doing here. So proud of you. Like I said, I couldn't be happier for you. Couldn't be happening to a better person. It makes me so proud to see somebody, like you've said so many times, do the next right thing, do the best thing that you can, and you're kind of seeing, what that becomes on the racetrack and in life. So again, pal, I can't thank you enough for spending a little time with us here. Probably more time than I intended. Just freaking stoked for you, pal. I couldn't be happier, and can't thank you enough for joining us here for another one of these conversations.
Always appreciate you, Cody. Always, man. Thanks a lot.
Awesome, man. Well, for now, soak it up, soak this one up, do all the things, and we'll see you in a couple of weeks at Bracla.
Yep. We'll see you, boss.
Awesome, man. Have a good night. That's Brandon Hoag, race winner. Overall winner at Baja, signing off in the Digging Deep ATV MX podcast, brought to you by Yamaha and their YFZ 450R. Have a good night, pal. Congrats again.
See you, man.
See you, pal.
Man, so stoked for our guy. Major thanks to Brandon Hoag, this week's featured guest. And like I said, our regular race review pod with Billy and Brian will drop in the next couple days. Thanks to producer Dallas Jansen, my brother, for all his hard work. Thanks to my wife, Brooke, and thanks to AMA officials Joe Messina and Harv Whipple. Thanks to all of our donors, and thanks to all of our partners. CST Tires, go to shop.csttires.com today. Yamaha, thanks to Blue Crew. Thanks to SSI Decals, Valvoline, DID Racing Chain, Launderville Steel Enterprises and Concrete Supply, DP Brakes, and Ultimate Poly Products. UPP Racing, use code DIGGINGDEEP15 at uppracing.com. Then a special shout out and thank you to Motomom Designs for doing all our shooting at the races. Thank you so much, Megan. Support all the brands that support our show, and don't forget to use those codes to save. Find it all on our website, and be sure to click that Rocky Mountain ATVMC banner for all your gear and parts needs and to help us out. And most of all, thanks to you guys for listening. Shop our Digging Deep merch at shop.diggingdeepatvmx.com. Find all things Digging Deep ATV Fantasy related at atvfantasy.com. If you're looking for another easy way to help support us, visit our website and click the Patreon or Buy Me a Coffee buttons. This allows you to set up a one-time or monthly contribution to support our efforts. Follow the show on social media, Digging Deep ATV MX Podcast, and myself, Cody Jansen, for additional content coverage and more fun stuff, as we only have one event remaining in this 2026 ATV Motocross National Championship season, which is insane. You can find us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, and more. Wherever you find podcasts, you will find the Digging Deep ATV MX Podcast. All episodes, additional podcast providers, sponsor links, and discount codes, show merchandise, fantasy info, and more can all be found on our website, diggingdeepatvmx.com, so check that out today. Be a friend, tell a friend, please download, subscribe, rate, review, and share. And with that, for Brandon Hoag, Brooke Jansen, Dallas Jansen, and I'm your host, Cody Jansen, thanks for listening to and making us the most listened to podcast in ATV racing, with more than 304,000 downloads last month in 151 total countries. Until next time, thanks for joining us in Digging Deep with the Stars of ATV Motocross. Things are crashing and burning here at the Digging Deep podcast, much like the Titanic.
those guys were hauling ass, for real.
I remember watching Doug Gus, I don't know who it was, Steel City, running the same times Friday afternoon as James Stewart was on Sunday back then. It was mental. I've never seen quads go that fast.
Quadlers are freaking gnarly.